Good evening. It's the 27th of June. I've filmed this a couple times already, so we're gonna hope it goes right this time. I did mean to redo this earlier, but it's been kind of crazy busy. I do have assistance today. Sweetheart's with us right now. She may or may not stay. She's not big on public. She's not big on people other than the people she knows. So if you see this bouncing around, just know she's revving up all over it, leaving her mark. She did do that with the bag of projects over here, so it has had multiple spills, so it's no longer in order. I do have an order because I do have my planner. I do have the case for it. I'm loving this planner. For me, it works really well because I not only have my week, but I have my month at top, but then I have my week on the bottom part, so I can see everything all at once. Last time I filmed, we finished with the blue ring. Let me rephrase that. The last time I filmed and it made it on, I finished with blue ringed octopus, and we're gonna start right after that. There were several days there that I didn't get to stitch just because between work and animals and everything else, it got a little busy, and I'm, you know, being sick, like, things happen. So I do need to start with that bag though, because, and I've been horrible at posting on Instagram lately, and I do apologize for that. There's one thing in here that I've started and finished that will not be here because it is going to be a model. So when I get to that, we'll insert pictures and we'll discuss that. So number 11 was Glowing in the Deep. Which, this is the start of Glowing in the Deep. Very, very little. When I started that on the 29th, I was on an ambulance that day, just didn't have a chance to do much of anything. And that's okay too. So that did not get very far. I did not keep it around the next day because I did not get a chance to stitch that Saturday. Hello, Leo. We might have two assistants today. This is going to get set aside because there are some more of those that I did start. It is. It is what it is. There is on most of them so far been a lot of details to them, so they'll take a little while to finish, but it shouldn't be too bad. Then number 12. I'm trying to figure out where they want to sit. Is Ruth. Oh, there it is. Like I said, these are no longer in order. They were for a hot second. Then I had of the 4-pod variety. Now, Ruth is on 36 count Starry Starry Night from Tabby Cat Linen. I have another piece of Starry Starry Night that is like a 32 count, and the 32 count came out much darker than the 36. Both are still beautiful though. So, refold this. It's a very small start. It is bottom center of the pattern though. I am doing this in the MPIs. Now, I have not seen this for sale in a very long time. When she came out, she was like a market exclusive, and I ordered her at that time, kitted her in the DMCs, and then found I didn't really like it. Wasn't happy with it. So when I've kitted her this time, I have done it in MPIs that are charted. I like MPI better than a Veriswall. And since she's going to be a project for a while, I do like that I do not need to put them in bags. So one of the ones that I do have all the floss cut. There are a few colors I don't have just because they weren't in stock when I kitted her up, but not enough to stop me from being able to start her. And I will get them at some point when I start doing that probably. So I have the bag I carried them out of. So the next start, it's here. I saw it. I double checked. There we go. Is a Worthy Patriot. I do not have America 250 at this time. I have a friend who got it for me, and I just haven't received it yet. So here's the plan. I have 2 fat quarters of 36 count moonstone from Fiber on a Whim. The plan is this half is America 250 and this half is Worthy Patriot. 1 strand. I am not using the silk version that was created. I'm actually just doing it in the charted cottons. And that's really as far as I got on a Worthy Patriot. That's 1 evening of stitching. So, and I was on Zoom visiting, so that's really not a bad start. I don't think. I have not prepped the threads on this at all. It's just in a big bag because there's 2 of them in there. So there's quite a bit of floss between the 2. There's a lot of overlap, though, I will say, so there's at least that. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to starting the next one, too. Plum Street isn't one I have a lot of, but I'm really liking those ones. So, next one, nope. This one. Before I started all this, We Are Blessed. I did go back, and this is the start of 250th celebration. Both these will fit on the drum, but when you look at the pattern, one has this finished on a circle, and one is on, then We Are Blessed is on the drum. Now, this is looking amazing. This is some 36 count vintage country mocha. Now, when I started We Are Blessed, which is on the same thing, I need to cut it down, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm not as happy with that. This is with 1 thread. This is actually with 2. The weave on it, to me, was a little loose, so it's quite a bit of it. I didn't even really think about it. When I started 250, I was like, oh, it's a 32. Didn't really think about it. And the coverage is so much better. So it may actually be a 32, not the 36 that is marked, because it did come off of a D-stash a long time ago. But I am going to go back and restart We Are Blessed at some point in all this with 2 threads to get a bit better color payoff. So that will be coming at some point. When exactly? Not decided. This one also only had 1 evening. It's a very tiny little bag. Yep, because it is from a kit, so it came with some yards of a few different bell swab. And this is from Sassafras Samplers. So yes, I do work at Sassy Jack, so it is one that we put out for market in 2025. And this is 1 evening of stitches. And I did finish at least around, if not a little bit more than half of it. So she will be a very quick finish when I go to finish her. And with the kit that we have, it has everything even to finish her as like an ornament, floss ring, because it has a little floss ring to hang it from. So that's the awesome thing. Now we are going to go back to Seaside Holiday, the Seaside Holiday, to the Beneath the Waves. And the next one is Bubbles Seahorse. I think I would have just left this out, but no. No. There we are. That is the start of Bubbles Seahorse. She is looking adorable. I am loving all these. I am using which I might have forgot I am using the Cottage Garden palette for it. And these are all on 36 count. Is it Sky or Oxygen? Sky linen from Atomic Ranch. Now, when you look at the check thing, there's like 29 ornaments. 29 patterns, but the Robin Pickens one has 2 in it actually, so that's 30 of them. So I have 2 yards cut into blocks for all of them, so they will all be on the same fabric, and then of course the same floss. So I'm weird, I know. So Coastal Holiday from Hands On Designs is the next one. The thing with this is I did finish the 3 ornaments a while back. I just didn't do the, like on the pattern it has that box kind of thing that said greetings from the sea. That's the part I hadn't done. So I did start that. This is the same fabric the ornaments are on, and when I start the Flamingo ornaments she did a few years ago, they are going to be on that as well. It is a 32 count from Fortnite Fabrics, and I'm not sure what the color name was. I was on their fabric of the month for like a while, and probably one of the first years, because I ended up upping it to 36 and 40 count, and then it got knocked back down to 32 count just because I couldn't get it the higher counts during COVID. So, and they didn't actually tag them on. They had them either on the Mylar or a loose card that went with them. So I might have the card with the Flamingo ornaments when I start them, but I'm not certain. The next one was a long dog. Do I have a few of them? Yes. This one is called Pilgrim. And I went with a Cosmo thread. It's like 262 or something. I have to look. I don't have the notes with it, which is a bad thing. And it is a piece of Fiber on a Whim Night Sky. It's either 36 or 40 count. I don't remember which. Because I am doing one thread, and to kind of keep the size down, because even though, I mean, but I think it's gonna, this is the bottom right corner. So she is looking amazing already. Like I got worked a couple threads in on a Monday night. I really like monochromes. I like them for when I travel. I like them for when I'm like at work too. I mean, I like a lot of things, but for taking with me somewhere, there's only the one color of floss. I mean, it is rather convenient for travel stitching in that sense. Next one is a Blackbird design. It is Away We Ride. So when I did post this on Instagram, and here's all the silks. I did do the Vicki Clayton conversion of them, and I have Bats and Ghosts from Willoughby Ann that they are on, because there wasn't quite enough in one set, so I actually did half and half. Now originally I thought the name of this was Nicholas Flamel, and it didn't give me Dyer. I had never heard of him and then that's apparently who dyed it, and he didn't name his linens, is from what I understand. He's one I had never heard of before, which that's easy to happen. But I'm loving this color, and that is the bottom center start of Away We Ride. It does have a little bit of a blendy, but there's enough brown in the fabric that it's still, I think the whole overall whole mood of the piece is going to be better. And I'm still going to be able to see all the details. So the next one, buying this pattern was a gift. And I actually do have papers because I haven't finished prepping the floss, obviously. And that kind of gives it away. Welcome to the Circus. It is the Frosted Pumpkins current stitch along. And I love the fact they give you a Cosmo conversion, because I have those available. And sometimes they're really nice. So, and this is a center start because the start they gave you is a center start. And even as it goes, I will download it. I just probably won't stitch on it. This is 36 count Delft Blue from Weeks Dye Works. And it is over one thread over 2. And he's got an ear and part of a mane. And that's actually 2 nights of stitching, because sometimes a girl gets busy. That's what's that. So I do have I printed out all the stuff when I went to get it. Pulled the Cosmo. I mean, there is some DMC in here for colors we were out of stock, and the Etoile. So we is ready. That's gonna be fun to get back to. It's kind of motivating me to want to finish Castle Homecoming that I got a few years ago. That was their stitch along. But, you know, I'll get to everything. I don't know how fast, and I'm okay with that. So, Welcome to the Circus was number 20. Number 21 is Once Upon a Time. It is a Butternut Road piece. That apparently I need to find, because everything else is in here. The floss, the info card. That was what I used originally as its name tag when it was just sitting kitted with floss. So that I knew what I was looking at, because I had just copied the floss list to make my checklist. But she is not in here. So this needs to get set aside, because I'm going to need to go hunting for that piece, apparently. That's not a good thing. It's really embarrassing. I don't remember if I posted a picture or not, but I will try and remember to put one in here. If I find the piece. Alright, so moping is not going to make this any better. Number 22 is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. It is a big one, I remember that, because there are so many flosses to this. It is on a 40 count Velt from Picture This Plus. I'm going to try to do most, if not all of them on it. And it is 1 night worth of stitching. 1 thread over 2. It is the bottom right corner. And I love this belt for this. Thank you, sweetheart. And we went on with life from there. This next one is the Ladies Garden Journal for Summer House Stitch Works. It is also number 23. It is in the charted Classic Colorworks flosses. This is a fat half from Fortnite Fabrics. But I started the first one, because I started Hollyhock, which is actually number 2. This is number 1 and is Sweet William. It is only 1 evening of start, but that's okay. It is a start. A start is a start is a start. And so they are all going to be on this fabric. Then what's left? I do have a finishing kit where it finishes. It has like the little wood, the mat board and the wood pieces and the twill tape and all that to make a little like book that Summer House released. And so there's also a cover and then like a back flap piece, and those will be on that fabric as well. So, but the funny thing is right behind the computer is Leo sitting there just staring me down as well. And they've had plenty of people time all day long. I've been home all day. So this one is this Night 2. It is, I've never seen the company, Dessins. I'm probably saying it wrong, probably massacring it. And there are 4 of these, and I have started the first one a while back. And I'll just show you that real fast for reference. They will all fit off Fat 8. Not that there's much there to see. That one's on 36 count Spooky from Be Stitch Me. And that floss is NPI number 896. This is night number 2. It is on 36 count from Be Stitch Me called Mummy. But quite a bit done in one night on him. Now I have like this Halloween series that came out Or, well, I don't know for sure when it came out, but the gift, it was gifted to me for Christmas, like last year. So it also has Boneyard and Frankenstein. This one is actually in a fabric bag since I did start Mummy 1 before this whole start thing. So each of these need a fat 8. Night 3 and night 4 will one each on night 3 and night 4, or the other way around. Haven't decided yet. One of each will go on a fat 8 of this, but they will all have this same shade that is disappeared there of MPI Silks 896. So they'll all be on that, but each of them will be on a different piece of this, or a different fat 8 of this Be Stitch Me Halloween collection. So I'm like looking for it. Like I keep saying, I love my monochromes, and this should be proof. I got several of them. That being said, they sometimes rotate out quickly because I get tired of stitching in that same color, and I go on to something else, but that's okay. So this next one is a kit that we have there at work. It's called The Sun Always Shines at Sassy Jack's. It is a kit. Came with 32 count pistachio from Color and Cotton. It is a fat 8, like that says. It came with all the flosses as well. So some of them are cut, some are cut. I do have floss drops for all of them. And I started in the bottom right, which seems to be a theme for me recently. I start my projects wherever makes the most sense to me. Sometimes that's the center, or sometimes it's the center because I have to, like the Frosted Pumpkin one. And I work out from just wherever that is at that time. And so this next one actually was a center bottom start. And it is also finished. It was the Liberty Sparkler. It was coming out for the July Flamingo Toes Needle Minder of the Month Club. We had gotten ours in and I stitched it up so we had a model of the pattern at the store. I did mine, and I will insert a picture of it here because I do have that picture, on 36 count periwinkle from Weeks Dye Works. That fabric is the one we have on sale at the store right now for the Weeks Dye Works Linen Club. With that, you get either a fat quarter or a fat half, depending on how many you order. Weeks Dye Works floss, and then a swatch and a ring for all your swatches if you keep buying the different linen clubs as you go along. So we need, but that Liberty Sparkler for that Flamingo Toes was number 27. I accidentally skipped number 24, which is here. So this is, this has a lot of papers with her. But it is Lady of the Flag. It is the new one. I originally had this pattern and misplaced it, and it sat. I had also originally converted her to a green dress and did all my calculations, conversions, and all that from the yellow dress to the green dress. But because I had lost the pattern, I never started her. So when it came back out, I did get the re-release of the pattern. I did have to do a little bit of tweaking because there are some different colors used in the new version. Well, not different. There's some colors in the old version that are not in the new one. Like 1 or 2 colors. 2 colors. So, did some tweaking. And then I took that and converted it to MPIs. And I started it on a piece of Smoky Quartz from Fiber on a Whim. Well, when I converted the dress to greens, I got shades of green that were so close together that you could not tell them apart at all. And I just set it aside and I was very frustrated with it. I had meant to start it on 32 count so that, you know, the beads would fit really well, same with the metallics and all that. And I thought about ordering the permanent hairpiece, but so I was going through things. I found the piece of 32 count heroic that I had initially bought for this piece. And what you can see here is I went and got several greens and just did all the way across from lightest to dark, a little, and use that to kind of choose which greens I wanted to use so that they would still go, you know, from lightest to dark, but not be so close together that you just couldn't tell what was going on anymore. And it is much better. I did do a center start, somewhat center. Yes. You see the flag coming off there. So, much happier now. That was one night of work. I started on the dress and a little bit on the flag just for keep reference to where I was, and just kept going. I started at like 8, 9 o'clock, and literally I looked up and it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I went to bed at that point. That tells you how happy I was and how smoothly that whole process was going, that I didn't realize I had killed that much time. So now that we can go back forward, since I messed up the timeline there, and number 28 actually got 2 days. I got Saturday and Sunday, because I did start it on Saturday. Sunday, this last Sunday, the 21st, was a little busy because they had the whole Land of Oz tea party thing and had tickets, so went to that. So by the time I got home, because I hadn't slept well the night before, I just didn't do too much. I put a few stitches in and then went to bed. So I've got 2 days, but not really 2 days, kind of. And it is from my, this is going back, old collection that I found as I was going through a box. Seaside Garden Sampler from Victoria Sampler. This was a fabric of the month called Dragonstone, from hand dyed by Stephanie. It is a 32 count. Now these are pretty narrow. I started bottom right, so it's not going to take very much. So this piece, it's already in here. I just haven't started it yet, so I haven't shown you anything. It's going to be the Autumn Garden Sampler. Similar to, it's going to be rather narrow but long. So both of those are going to go on this. I have a couple more of them. I just not, at least I did. I think I do still. And so I might put some more of those on the same piece of fabric. So it has not been cut down yet. If I need to, and I will. But I am gonna, I don't know if it's going to be the tonight project or not. So the day after that, I was doing an ambulance shift, and I took a Mill Hill kit with me. So when you go to Michael's and stuff, you can get these. They're in a bigger box that these all just slide in. They're the store photos. They are perfect for your smaller Mill Hill kits, and because they're rigid, that doesn't allow the perforated paper to bend if you're going somewhere. These are the other things I love for if I'm traveling or if I'm on a plane, because the perforated paper, easy to see, and I won't usually do the beading part on a plane. I'm not that crazy, but you don't need a hoop, you don't need a lot of other stuff. So this is where I am for this owlet, Violet. And I need to write that note down, because when I put it in my planner, I did not have this with me, and so I didn't know which one it was. I have one, there's like 6 of these little owls, and I have one completed, and I had bought the whole set when I bought them years ago. So there are more of these in my future. Now, if they ride around too much and they're too bent out, they don't really latch very well, so they get hair bands around them. So I did that while I was working a 24-hour shift on the 22nd. The 23rd, I did another Probably shouldn't put this all the way down on the floor. Of the Beneath the Waves, and it will be number 30, and that is the Dumbo Circus. Dumbo Octopus. I don't know where the circus. And there's very little of this, but most of the time if I'm stitching on Tuesday evenings, at least part of it is on Zoom. So sometimes visiting gets in the way, as it did that night, and other distractions. So no, Dumbo Circus didn't get that far. She is a center bottom start though. And that is the last of the Beneath the Waves palette that I have worked on since the last time we were on. Next one is, I will have to insert a picture as well. It is number 30. Oh wait, nope, sorry. I had them out of order. I did have to do some stuff for my ambulance work. So I took a different Mill Hill kit, Rainy Mouse, with me. And I finished some of the puddle beneath her. Yeah, it's only like, I only ended up with like 10-15 minutes of time to stitch, so that's not bad. That is 31. Now, 32, I'll have to insert a picture because I don't actually, I have a picture of my completed project. I didn't have a picture of the pattern. It is a freebie, the Berry Apothecary series, which is something that I finished the last of those ornaments a while back. And all those, excuse me, all those ornaments are actually sitting at Sassy Jack's. They're going to get finished and be hanging as models. I had actually started them. I started the series before I worked there when I was still in the Caribbean working. So, but that is where they are now. So we're going to flip this around. I'm going to show you number 34, which I worked on, started yesterday. And then we'll go back to 33 because there's a couple things with 33. And this is 32 count Vielas from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. It is Oh Say Can You See. I am doing the drum part. I may do the panel too, or the sampler root, whatever. And that is where we are. We got the full height, but definitely not the width of the drum. So when I bought this, it came with a really dark blue velveteen for the top of the drum. So, and I am doing as charted all the hand-dyed fibers, which are all Gentle Arts for that one. And that was last night. Now, tonight is either going to be that Victoria Sampler one that's going to go on the fabric, same fabric as Seaside, or it is going to be a companion piece to number 33. So, number 33 is There Is Room from the Proper Stitcher. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this separate is because there's going to be a couple things here. So, it is on 36 count Nessie from Under the Sea Fabrics. I've had this piece of fabric for a while and just haven't found anything I wanted on it. Just nothing felt right. So I started in the top right corner, top left corner. And this floss is Peach Fuzz from Weeks Dye Works. So the reason why I put this off is I have another one in that Welcoming Heart series called Have Courage. So what I'm going to do, because I found this Pirate and Robin in my stash called Cove. And if you look at the colors, very similar to Nessie. So I happen to have, I had a piece of Weeks Dye Works Peach Fuzz, 36 count linen. So it's going to, so Have Courage is going to be this. I got the Peach Fuzz floss because this floss matched this, so they're going to basically be an inverted. So one's going to be out dark with the light, the other will have a similar thread that's going to look almost identical. and be on, yeah. So I don't know if I will have Courage tonight, but I'm thinking about it, or the Victoria Sampler, or another Beneath the Waves. I got options, but I kind of like the idea of those being almost the reverse of each other, and then frame them either in the same frame above and below each other, or a separate frame and hang them near each other, beside each other, but below. That could be debatable. But that is my thought for those. So that takes us to the end of that. So have Courage. And there's another one called Strive for Joy, which I have not seen. So I might have to look for that. But yes, so the other one of these will probably be a start, if not tonight, within the next few days. And like I said, have that flip-flop with each other. That is all of those. That takes us, at this point, with Oh Say Can You See, to number 34. So that's all I have right now. It is supposed to storm here soon. They keep saying it's going to rain like anytime. And my watch is dying. My computer is not, but my phone is. So I am going to go probably do some housework and then stitch the next piece. If you haven't, I know we have a in-person stitch retreat next week, so I may not get much stitching done over the next week. So it may be a month or so, or a little, yeah, around a month or so before I get to film again, or have much to show again. Hello, Leo. Sometimes I get help, sometimes. I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.